Alright, let's see. Right. That's why she called the victim all the way to the prosecutor's office. Right. I'm sure the chief prosecutor had a grudge against the victim. Her red muffler looked like blood to me. That's how ghastly the whole scene was. She was very short-tempered. Challenging her abilities as a detective really set her off. Her short wick burns out the fastest. It's a scientific fact. I wonder, wouldn't it depend on the size of the candle? I mean, add more wax. You're off the deep end. You said that, but you haven't told us how you know. That's what I'm about to tell you, rookie. I believe what she just said is a mere prelude to the story she's about to tell you. Try not to interrupt her again. Oh, we did this last time, I'm pretty sure. Never interrupt a storyteller. It's like pulling a bun out of the oven half-baked. Try not to confuse the defense witness. They're not very quick on their feet. Hey! Now why'd you believe the suspect had intentions to murder the victim? Her actions speak for themselves. Let me see. Hang on one second. I think we already did this. Miss Starr, I demand an explanation. The witness is clearly not suited for detective work. What? You just shot yourself in the foot, dude. The suspect was not wearing a scarf or muffler of any kind when she stabbed the victim. And you proved it yourself. With this photograph. Huh? But that can't be. Only a professional lunch lady could be so utterly clueless. Wow. Congratulations. Perhaps you finally found your true calling in life. Harsh words, but good. In the end, Mr. Edgeworth prevailed. What was my objection? Chopped liver? But it was there. A scarf. No, not that, but something red. Really? Well, now, where were we? The witness has given us an entertaining interlude, but back to business. What? Very well, witness. Continue your testimony. We just kind of, like, ripped her all to shreds in 2 statements. That was great. You saw the crime, apprehended the suspect. Tell us about that. I'm not talking to you anymore. Very well. I do remember some things accurately, at least. Do you now? Ultimately, we couldn't shake the most important part of her testimony. The most important part where your sister stabs the victim. This next testimony might be the moment of truth. After the murder, the suspect attempted to run behind a partition off to her side. I quickly caught her, explained her rights to her, and arrested her on the spot. Ah yes, when I arrested her, she mentioned the muffler. That's what had me confused in my earlier testimony. The chief prosecutor made to escape, but against the Angel Star, resistance is futile. You are quite determined about the scarf, aren't you? I strike like a snake and bite like a cobra. That's me, Angel Star. That wasn't a very good metaphor. First of all, a cobra is kind of a snake. Don't bother me with details unless you want to get bitten. No thanks. Note to self. Mr. Wright is weak against poisonous snake bites. Chief Prosecutor tried to resist, but her efforts were in vain. She knocked my hands aside, kicked over an oil drum. What? Hard to imagine. Oh, she's beautiful, but deadly. A predator, this one. A leopard woman. Rawr. Very well, Mr. Wright. Your cross, if you will. After the murder, the suspects attempted to run. So where's this partition on the floor plan? I'm sure she means this wall next to the car. About 6 feet high. She was obviously trying to hide herself. Quite a natural thing for a criminal to do. And what did you do then? You say quickly. Were you close to the suspect? No. As I just said, I was only 30 feet away from her the whole time. 30 feet is a long way away. Maybe I should press her for more details. Press her. I'd like to see this on the floor plans, just to be safe. Lunchland car was... She's a visitor. Parked in B block. So you witnessed the murder from here? That would make it about 30 feet from the car. Is that correct? She's lying. But there was a chain link fence in front of you. Correct. I went over to it, of course. Amazing. The cop-out queen. Lunch lady athlete, indeed. Could have taken her a little time to climb over the fence. You can't climb over the fence. She couldn't have gotten to my sister that fast. The fence was about 9 feet high, too. Well, I thought it was connected at the top. How did Miss Sky not get away? You mentioned the muffler. What do you mean? You mentioned the muffler? What exactly did she say? If I remembered exactly, I would have told you in my testimony. Gee. Anyway, all I heard her say was the word muffler. Just that one word? So what you heard wasn't the suspect talking to you, but to someone else. Yes, Chief Prosecutor was talking on her phone. Her phone? She can't mean... By phone, do you mean... His cell phone discovered at the crime scene? Yes. Ultimately? My memory. It fades. Like a salmon, you see. Heading upstream, you see. No, the court doesn't see Miss Starr. Chief Prosecutor first attempted to use the phone hanging on the wall. Near the car. There is an emergency phone. Apparently it was out of order. She used her cell phone. Indeed, the emergency phone was out of order. Good witnessing, witness. Good witnessing? Whatever happened to good testifying? You should, of course, add this to your testimony. The things I do to please this rookie defense attorney. How she tried the phone on the wall, but instead had to use her cell phone. Don't think we have to press this, but... I was going to ask the same thing. I only saw this one time, so listen. Say this one time, so listen close, rookies. Chief Prosecutor stabbed the victim and ran behind the partition. He picked up the emergency phone, but it was out of order. Pulled her own cell phone out of her pocket. Why would she have come out from view? During that time, you climbed over the chain link fence. Then when I boldly grabbed her arm, Chief Prosecutor hung up her phone. And you saw her doing this. What is it, Mr. Wright? Chief Prosecutor made to escape, but against the Angel Star, resistance is futile. He brushed aside my hand and ran. It was a terrible sight to see, like a dollop of lard on a pate of foie gras. Wow. He even kicked over an oil drum at me. See, that's not true. Yeah, but there was no oil. But it's strange. If she wanted to escape, why didn't she run the other way? True. Aha. The entrance was right here. That's right. Doesn't make any sense if she would run from behind the partition to the oil drum. Excellent. More mysteries. Wish we could solve a few before finding more, though. Sorry my sister is so suspicious, Mr. Wright. Not as sorry as I am. She didn't do it. You have to believe me. After the murder, a suspect attempted... How do you do that? You say quickly. Wait, we already did this. I think we already did this, though. Sorry, guys. I don't think she could have climbed the fence that fast. I wonder how she can see her get on the phone. Hi, Rex. You didn't scare me. Ha 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 ha. You guys all set for the hurricane? I don't think it's gonna... You're still in Davenport, right? Sorry. Didn't mean to dox you. You're still in the same place, right? Hi, Rex. I don't think it'll be that bad, but... I've never seen a hurricane go from 3 to 1 before it hits land. That's what I'm curious about. Oh, you moved? Where'd y'all move to? But apparently there's a wind shear there. You're still in Central Florida? Yeah, that's it. Objection! Miss Star, I have to conclude that you have a personal grudge against Sky. The witness is a former detective. Her testimony is unmarred by personal bias. Well, who would have thought you would be my knight in shining armor? You having a hurricane party? How are your little nieces and nephews? I think you have one. At least one? Doing alright? I hope you're doing alright. You who, together with the chief prosecutor, kicked me out 2 years ago. Yeah, there's a grudge there. Well, Miss Star, this is a fatal contradiction with your testimony. How do you explain it? Huh, I don't know what you're talking about. Mess with me, and I'll make you cough it all up. Let's look at the floor plans. Just vibing. Both nieces. I'm trying. The struggle in this house. But I was doing better for a long time, so I'm trying not to slide back where I was. I just really hope the hurricane doesn't do a lot of damage. But I have a lot of friends on the coast still, so I don't want it to do a lot of damage there either. Phoenix Lawyer Man, your favorite game, Albino. Your absolutely favorite game. Yeah, I'm trying. I wish I had my passport though, because I would totally leave the country. You said you witnessed a crime from this point. However, if that's true, you couldn't possibly have seen Miss Sky making that phone call. Where'd Siege go? Dom got sieged out. Dom was really tired, so she wanted to use a game and for some reason thought this would be good. But like, this is a very hard game because I have to read it all. So we might do a movie game. I don't know. I don't want to be alone right now. I need you guys. I love you guys. You guys are my family. I believe you see what I'm getting at. Isn't a Sleepy Time game. But it's a good game to play when you're sad, though. An emergency phone was on the backside of this partition. If indeed you were in B block, you couldn't have seen it. What? Order, what is the meaning of this? It's simple, Your Honor. She's not coughing up lunch, she's coughing up lies. That's quite a claim, Mr. Wright. Perhaps you will allow me a question. Tell us exactly what lie the witness has told the court. Here's where the counterattack begins. I can't afford to get this wrong. The witness lied about... Less stress would be moving out of this house. Or voting out the Republicans. That would help. What did she lie about? It could be order of events, but I think it's what she saw, or where she saw it. Where she was, because if she was over on this side of the... She had to be in the security room, maybe. The only way she could have seen it is if she was over here. No, I'm not. Well, I'm kind of stressed because of the hurricane. I'm too old for hurricanes. But mostly my dad and my mom and my roommate and living here. It's hard to go, like, hit rock bottom and build yourself back up. When I hit rock bottom, my body's falling apart now. So, it's hard to come back from that. But I'm working on it. We're gonna go with where she saw it. Miss Sky tried to use the emergency phone, but it was out of order. What is significant about that fact? Nothing. Therefore, it would be pointless for Miss Star to lie about it. Pointless to lie, I see. But, he did lie. The witness did see the Miss Sky using the phone. It would mean Miss Star witnessed the crime from a different location. You're forcing my hand. Hang in there. Thank you, Mr. Cat Poster. I'm trying. You guys are awesome. I love playing with you guys, so. And I am sad. I want to play Cult of the Lamb where nobody dies of old age. You're back alive, by the way. A different location? Now that's a pointless lie if I ever heard one. Before you call my lie pointless, at least let me tell it. Let me ask a question to our clever wordsmith, Mr. Wright. Just where was the witness when she saw the crime? I have no idea. Points in one direction. Place. It has to be in the security room, right? I did, but I want to beat it and get 100 followers, though. This is the only place where she could have been. Security guard room? Indeed, the security room in the underground parking lot is well positioned. It's built on the second floor, so you can see the entire lot. She would have been able to see the emergency phone from there. But why there? There's so many other places she could have seen the phone. Not in this case, Your Honor. The witness, not being part of the prosecutor's office, couldn't park in A block. The only place where she could have seen the crime, in the back of the partition, is here. It was a good game. I actually managed to bring back the old save. I think I have 10 followers now. And you're back. It was Colonel Mustard in the security room with a candlestick. There's no candlestick. Rex never joined my cult. You brought a lunch to your boyfriend in the security room, yes. Yeah, she said that. Well, Miss Star, how many years have I been getting the better of men? To think that the tables could be turned. Today, as man has gotten the better of Angel Star. Order. Order. Witness. What have you done? You used to be a detective. You should know better. I'm not turning back. The guilty will be punished. I'll do what I must to make sure justice prevails. That is bad. This is why we say defund the police. The guilty. Is she talking about Miss Sky? Mr. Wright, doesn't this strike you as odd? Why did Miss Star lie? It doesn't make sense. Huh? She could have just said she saw the crime from the security guard station. It wouldn't change anything. Exactly. So why did she lie? This photograph tells all. So she didn't see the murder. She didn't take the picture. So who took the picture? The truth still stands. It still stands? I disagree, Mr. Edgeworth. What? If a witness is found to be lying, they're guilty of perjury. She knows this. She wouldn't risk that without a good reason. So tell us her reason. I don't know. Why do I have to come up with it? Who else? Mr. Wright, let's review what we know. Miss Starr witnessed the crime from the security guard station. But she lied and said she saw it from B Block. It must make vital difference, but what? What could change? It does change distance to the crime, but it also means distance to the crime means that she could have done it. And that's why she lied. It changes the distance between her and the scene of the crime. My condolences, Mr. Wright, but one look at the floor plans and it's quite clear. What did I fuck up? The distance between the scene of the crime and the guard station is 30 feet. I don't see how that could change what she could see. Yes, it does. What she saw is not in question here. What matters is the time it would take her to reach the scene of the crime. No, it's not. She did it. Miss Starr, you witnessed the crime from the security guard station. She couldn't have. How long did it take you to go from there to the scene of the crime where you arrested Miss Skye? Well, witness? You... Yes? You ordered the squid wheels, right? Body of my lunches have gone from low to inedible. I was bringing a PB&J lunch with my fresh boysenberry jam to my boyfriend. Boysenberry for the boyfriend. He wasn't in the station, so I waited. I witnessed the crime from the glass-walled station. Oh, the security room's on the second floor? The door was locked. I couldn't open it. Wow. She didn't witness shit. You need dinner? What's for dinner? Probably took me at least 5 minutes to get to the scene. 5 minutes? Changes things considerably. But it was that woman over there in the defendant's chair who stabbed them. I know it. I have photographic evidence. I swear it. I swear it on my finest plastic fork. You have a point. This fork is a wonderful invention. Would you like another caviar lunch? Absolutely. He gets caviar, I get squid wings. You have to do something. Probably Taco Bell. I would love Taco Bell if they... Do they have, Taco Bell pizza? Can you send me a picture of it? I want to see it. "5 minutes between the witnessing of the murder and the arrest. Think about it. You can make pasta in that amount of time, if you like it al dente. I've got lunch boxes that tie pasta into knots, rookie. A 5-minute blank. Isn't that strange? If you were a criminal, what would you do with 5 minutes, Your Honor? I'd run away. Hey. Don't get the wrong idea. I didn't kill anyone. But you have the instincts of a killer. You would run. But this time was different. Miss Sky dawdled at the scene of the crime. She even had her picture taken. No true criminal would act this way. It's inconceivable. Yeah. Well then, it seems we've come to the end of this testimony. The witness has a grudge against the defendant and blank in her testimony. Mr. Edgeworth, is the next witness ready to go? Unfortunately, I appear to have overestimated this witness on account of her professional history. We did it! We screwed that can shut, Mr. Wright. That was too close. I'm afraid that the Cough-Out Queen has been dethroned. And with that, court is adjourned. Hold it! Who said that? Mr. Edgeworth, you ordered the squid wheels. That's the one she tried to foist off on me. I prefer not to take the defense's team leftovers. Anything else to say? I might be able to save you. I have a decisive evidence. What was that? Is this another one of her trick lunchboxes? My apologies, but we have no further questions. Ah. Is it your jumbo lunchbox? Ooh, a triple-decker. Out of deference to the witness's determination, I'll allow one more testimony. Let's hear about this decisive evidence. Like the Lunchland motto says, you won't be disappointed. What's she gonna pull out of her lunchbox this time? Why didn't she present the decisive evidence in the beginning? I should have mentioned those 5 minutes when I wasn't looking at the crime scene. And now, the matter of the victim's shoe. Did I not bring this up? 2 types of blood were found on the shoe. One was, of course, the victim's. The other blood type matched that of the defendant, Lana Skye. The shoe proves it. It's flawless, decisive evidence. My shoe has my blood on it. Doesn't everybody's shoe have their blood on it? There was blood found on the shoe? Try Lunchland for all your lunch and decisive evidence needs. Witness, what's the meaning of this? Why is this the first time I've heard of this evidence? Simple. As I've already said, I don't trust you with this evidence, Mr. Edward. That's why I took the liberty of investigating this myself. Yeah, you can't do that. And you had blood tests performed? Didn't I mention? I have 3 boyfriends in forensics. In any case, Your Honor, can't accept this as evidence. What? You must know the 2 rules of evidence law. Rule 1. No evidence shall be shown without approval of the police department. In other words, the shoe is illegal evidence. At least for the time being. Is that right? Seems so. Edward sure is celebrating. Not so fast, Edgy. Don't forget, I used to be a detective. As I mentioned previously, the shoe has already been tested by a member of the forensics. As you can see, it was approved by the police department as of today. Even the general public can produce official evidence, Mr. Edward. Nah. Is that right? It seems so. Edward is looking pretty sullen. You could at least study some evidence law, really? Prosecution's complaint notwithstanding, it appears this evidence satisfies the first rule. However, it seems you have yet another count against you, witness. Anything to ensure that the guilty are properly judged. Very well, you may cross. We just want to look at the shoe. Why'd you lie about those 5 minutes? I guess you could say I just wanted people to look at the results. The results? How many times do I have to say this? I saw the chief prosecutor stab the victim with my very own eyes. Compared to that, a 5-minute blank means nothing. Then why didn't you just tell the truth? Don't make me laugh. We're dealing with the most untrustworthy of the vile lot known as prosecutors. Falsified evidence, arranged testimonies, erasing and manipulating evidence. When you fight monsters, you need to use every trick in the book. This is when the suspect is admitting she did it. False testimony is the most despicable crime of all, Mr. Starr. Let's just get this over with. You found the shoe at the scene of the crime? I detained the chief prosecutor and notified the police department. I wanted to make myself useful while I was waiting for the police to arrive. So, like an ill-trained pooch, you snuck off with a shoe. That's hilarious, I'm sorry. I was afraid someone would erase the chief prosecutor's crime. She was my secret weapon if that should happen. See this fashionable basket I have here? Carries more than lunchboxes, gentlemen. Happy for you and your lunch bag, really. In any case, you removed valuable evidence from the scene of a crime. Tell us what you did next. How do you know? So you brought it to the forensics? You're going to submit something in evidence in court. You need it approved. To do that, evidence must be analyzed by a forensics expert. She got away with her little coup because she used to be a detective. The shoe does appear to have bloodstains. Well, the man was stabbed after all. That blood belonged to the victim, Detective Goodman. As I said, there were 2 types of blood found on the shoe. Match that of the defendant. You can't say for sure this blood belonged to the defendant with a blood test. You claim to know something about blood tests, rookie? Huh. Well, speak up. Well, blood comes in 4 types, A, B, O, and AB. However, can't tell from a blood test whether a murder was committed in cold blood. That's just a figure of speech, Mr. Wright. Actually, we can differentiate between millions of types of auto blood tests out there, which means we can more or less narrow any sample of blood down to just one person. Or so I hear. Hey, Mark. After your streaming, why you torment me so? That's not your Mexican pizza, albino. Can't send me some stock photo. Aren't you gonna go get one? They said there's very little doubt that it could be skies. Oh. No, I know. I was one of the ones that got. I used to get Mexican pizzas all the time. I was very upset when it was removed from the menu. And I haven't had one. I need to maybe see if I can go out tomorrow. I need to return a few things. I'm just afraid of driving. Because it's my right ankle. So. I don't even like the Mexican pizza? Banned. Banned. That's a bannable offense. What do you mean you don't like the Mexican pizza? And all this crunchy, cheesy goodness. What are you talking about? Okay, that's what I like. Yeah, the cheesy gordita crunches are... I mean, I liked the gorditas, and they got rid of the gorditas. I am gonna kill you. I'm gonna come up to Jersey. So I can get air conditioning and not have to live in an aftermath of a hurricane. You just want me to read that? Okay, I forgive you. Okay. I really want a nap. There's blood here too! On the sole of the shoe? It's gotta be the victims. He must have stepped in a puddle of his own blood. All this blood. It's horrible. Blood might be an important clue. But... Blood, it's my sister's. It appears so. Why was she bleeding? Lena's right hand was bandaged when I saw her in jail. She must have cut herself at the time. Poor sis. You just want peace. There will be no peace until you love the Mexican pizza. Even this is lying. That is wrong. Oh, you can't come back if you go to Burger King. No, you need to go to Taco Bell and get a Mexican pizza. Or I will just be sad. It's okay, you can do what you want. You teased me by saying you were going to get a Mexican pizza. And now I'm not paying attention. You said you were going to get a Mexican pizza.